Imagine you're meticulously studying this highly technical architectural blueprint for a massive skyscraper, right?
Okay, I'm picturing it.
You spend like 10 agonizing hours analyzing the load-bearing walls, the electrical grids, the plumbing infrastructure.
Right, getting deep into the weeds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, just as you finally understand how it all fits together, you look out the window and realize, wait, the laws of physics have fundamentally changed while I was reading this.
Oh, wow. That is a terrifying thought.
Right, like gravity's slightly heavier now, wind works completely differently, the materials you literally just studied, they don't react the same way anymore.
Yeah, that is a phenomenal challenge. And honestly, it perfectly describes the modern digital landscape.
Okay, let's unpack this, because navigating digital marketing today feels exactly like studying a blueprint in a world with shifting physics.
Oh, absolutely. You are trying to establish a presence in this environment where the fundamental algorithms, the things dictating who actually sees you and who completely ignores you, they're being rewritten constantly behind closed doors.
Which is exactly why today's deep dive is so utterly fascinating. We are analyzing a massive, comprehensive roadmap that's basically designed to teach a beginner how to master that exact chaos.
Yeah, and it's not just a casual overview either.
No, not at all. Our source material today is the syllabus, the metadata, and the underlying structure of this wildly popular 10-hour digital marketing crash course.
10 full hours. It's intense.
It really is. It's titled Digital Marketing Full Course 10 Hours 2024 Digital Marketing Tutorial for Beginners. And it was published by Edureka, which is an online tech training platform.
And, you know, the scale of the specific resource is just impossible to ignore. Over 1.4 million viewers have used this curriculum to upskill.
That is a massive amount of people.
It is. It essentially serves as this modern cultural touchstone for anyone trying to carve out a career in this space. But the source itself is a bit of a curveball.
How so?
Well, Edureka is primarily known for hardcore, highly specialized tech certifications. I mean, they teach DevOps, AWS cloud architecture, Python programming, real heavy engineering stuff.
Right, so not exactly the people you'd expect to be teaching you how to get likes on Instagram.
Exactly.
So if you've ever felt just totally paralyzed by the sheer number of digital marketing channels out there, or, if you're looking to pivot your career and want to understand the underlying mechanics of how products actually get sold online today, this deep dive is for you.
For sure.
We are breaking down the exact curriculum that is drawing millions of eyeballs from the foundational strategy all the way to hardcore corporate interview prep.
And looking at that curriculum, I mean, the influence of Edureka's engineering background is immediately obvious.
Yeah, you can really feel it in the structure.
They do not approach digital marketing as some abstract creative art form involving, clever slogans or catchy jingles. They treat it as a hard, data-driven science.
And honestly, that engineering mindset explains the very first section of this 10-hour behemoth. But I have to admit, it initially threw me off a bit.
Oh, really? What caught you off guard?
Well, the course starts with these chapters on the evolution of digital marketing and the top 10 reasons to learn it and the core importance of digital marketing.
Right, the real foundational stuff.
Yeah, but they dedicate nearly an hour to what is the structure of the marketing plan and how to make an effective marketing plan.
And that felt a bit slow to you.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, if I'm a student sitting down in 2024 to learn digital marketing, I want to know how the TikTok algorithm works or, how to run a Facebook ad. Spending almost an hour on evolution and marketing plans before even touching a piece of software, it just feels incredibly slow.
What's fascinating here is that it only feels slow if you view marketing purely as a collection of tactics.
Okay, fair point.
What the syllabus is doing is establishing the why before it ever introduces the how. Think about software engineering, right? You don't just sit down and start blindly typing Python code.
Right, you'd end up with a mess. Like building a skyscraper, you can't just start picking out the wallpaper before you've poured the concrete foundation.
Exactly. That is a perfect analogy. You design the system architecture first, you map out the database, you define the user flow. Edureka is forcing that exact philosophy onto marketing.
So laying the concrete.
Right. Because if you don't have a structural marketing plan, meaning, you haven't defined your core audience, your value proposition, and the specific problem your product actually solves, then learning the mechanics of a social media platform is totally useless.
I suppose that makes a lot of sense. Like, A tactic is temporary, but the strategy is permanent?
Yes, you are figuring out the human psychology of your customer first.
Right, because human nature doesn't update its terms of service every 6 months.
Precisely. The syllabus recognizes that platforms will rise and fall. Algorithms will definitely change. But the structural logic of a marketing plan, identifying a target demographic and formulating a message that resonates with them, that survives those technological shifts.
So they are grounding you in the traditional foundation so you don't just get swept away the moment a digital tool updates its interface.
Exactly. It's survival prep, basically.
Which sets up the real tension of the course, honestly. Because once that foundational plan is locked in, you have to actually go out and get people to look at your product.
And that is where the real work begins.
Right. And the curriculum immediately splits into the dual mandate of the modern internet. It's the brutal, grinding work of earning your visibility organically versus the high-speed, high-stakes game of just paying for it.
The classic divide, organic versus paid.
Exactly. Let's look at the organic side first. The syllabus dedicates a massive block entirely to search engine optimization, or SEO, and it does not skim the surface here.
No, it goes incredibly deep.
Yeah, we're looking at granular chapters titled How Does Search Engine Work? Types of SEO, optimizing keywords, backlinks, and on-page ranking factors.
Notice the starting point there, though. How does search engine work?
Yeah, it doesn't just say how to rank.
Right. They demand that you understand the underlying mechanism of the ecosystem. A search engine relies on automated bots that literally crawl the internet, reading the code of every single page.
Which sounds exhausting just thinking about it.
It is. And then it indexes that information in a massive database. Finally, when you type a query, an algorithm ranks those index pages based on relevance and authority.
So if you don't understand that sequential mechanism, crawling, indexing, ranking, you cannot possibly optimize for it.
Exactly. You're just guessing.
And to execute that optimization, the course forces the student to get really into the weeds with specific tools. They spend significant time on SEO tools and then drill down specifically into a WordPress plugin called Yoast.
Ah, Yoast, a classic.
Right. There are chapters on Yoast SEO setup, and even something highly specific called the Yoast SEO meta box.
Which is where things get really technical.
I want to pause here, actually, because this is where the theory becomes a very tactical reality. When you or I do a Google search, we just see a list of blue clickable titles with, 2 short lines of text underneath.
Right. We take that completely for granted.
We really do. But the meta box is essentially the back-end control panel, where a marketer painstakingly writes and codes that exact title and description.
Yes. It's the mechanism used to manually signal to the search engine bot, hey, my page answers this specific query.
Wow. So it's very manual.
It is the ultimate manifestation of slow burn asset building marketing. Configuring a meta box, earning backlinks from other reputable sites to build your authority, ensuring your on-page keywords perfectly align with user intent. I mean, these are structural investments.
And it probably takes a while to see any results, right?
Oh, absolutely. It takes months, sometimes years, to see the return on that labor. But once you achieve a high organic ranking, you possess a digital asset. You are capturing traffic without paying a poll for every single visitor.
Okay, but right after asking the student to master this slow, methodical, deeply technical, organic process, the syllabus just completely pivots.
It's a total whiplash moment.
It introduces paid marketing with Google Ads tool. Suddenly, the chapters shift to types of search queries, Google ADS account structure, Google AdSense, and managing Google Ads.
Right, the paid side.
So what does this all mean? I have to play devil's advocate for a beginner looking at this roadmap.
Go for it.
If I can learn the Google Ads account structure, set up a budget, and essentially guarantee my product appears at the very top of the search results by tomorrow morning, why would I ever spend 6 months wrestling with the Yoast SEO meta box?
That is the million-dollar question, literally. And it cuts to the core of modern marketing strategy.
Because it seems like a no-brainer to just pay and skip the line.
It does. But the curriculum deliberately places these two disciplines back to back to illustrate their inverse relationship. Yes, Google Ads allows you to bypass the algorithmic waiting game entirely.
You just buy your way in.
Exactly. You are participating in a real-time automated auction, bidding money against your competitors for specific search queries. But, and this is the crucial part, the mechanism of paid ads is entirely transactional.
Meaning you only get what you pay for.
Right. The millisecond your budget runs out, or the second you stop paying, you become invisible. You vanish.
Oh, wow. It's the difference between building a massive, free-flowing public highway versus chartering a private helicopter.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, like the highway, which is your SEO, takes years to construct. You have to pour the concrete, navigate the zoning laws, lay the infrastructure. But once it's built, thousands of cars can drive straight to your business for free.
Yes, the traffic just flows.
But Google Ads, the helicopter. You pay a premium to fly a customer over all that traffic and drop them directly at your front door today. But, you have to pay the pilot for every single trip.
That analogy perfectly captures the syllabus's intent. A robust digital marketer really must understand the mechanics of both.
Because you need both to survive.
Generate immediate cash flow and to test new products quickly. But if you rely entirely on helicopters, your profit margins will just be eaten alive by the cost of acquisition.
Because you're always paying the pilot.
Right. You must simultaneously build the highway so your business has long-term sustainable infrastructure.
Okay, so you've learned to drive traffic.
Yeah.
You have the highway and the helicopter bringing people to your website.
Yeah.
But getting them there is really only the first hurdle.
It's just the beginning.
Looking at the mid to late sections of this 10-hour course, we see a massive shift in focus. The chapters move entirely away from search engines.
Right, because search is only half the battle.
Exactly. The curriculum introduces content marketing, the pillars of social media marketing, social marketing tools, and email marketing.
Because capturing a user's attention on a search engine is essentially a transactional handshake. They searched for a solution, you appeared.
But what happens after they click?
Exactly. The course transitions from acquisition to retention.
It's kind of like hosting a party. SEO and Google Ads are just the invitations you send out.
That's a good way to look at it.
But content, social media, and email, those are the actual music, the food, the conversation that keeps people from just walking right back out the front door.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the psychological demands of these new channels are completely different from SEO.
How so?
Well, take content marketing. You aren't optimizing a meta box for a search bot anymore. You are creating blogs, videos, or podcasts that actually provide value to a real human being.
Right, you have to be interesting.
Exactly. Then you look at the pillars of social media marketing. This requires a completely different mindset. You are operating in environments like Instagram or LinkedIn that are explicitly engineered to keep users endlessly scrolling.
Yeah, it's a constant battle for attention.
You have to understand the specific pillars of strategy, engagement, and algorithmic promotion just to interrupt that scroll.
And then consider email marketing, which the syllabus treats as its own distinct discipline entirely.
Oh, email is a whole different beast.
Right, because an inbox is a highly guarded, deeply personal space.
It really is.
Yeah.
People are ruthless with their delete buttons.
Exactly. The psychology of writing a promotional email that someone actually wants to open rather than instantly deleting requires a total mastery of direct response copywriting. You really have to understand human curiosity.
Honestly, looking at the syllabus, the sheer scope of it just sounds exhausting.
Right. If you are a beginner trying to learn this, you suddenly realize you need, 5 different brains.
At least.
You need the analytical brain of an engineer to understand search engine crawling and Google ad account structures. You need the creative brain of an editor to produce content marketing.
And you need the charismatic brain of a community manager for the social media pillars.
Exactly. Plus, the persuasive brain of a salesperson for your email marketing. It's wild.
The curriculum is laying bare the reality of the industry, though. It demands that a modern digital marketer be a polymath. You cannot specialize in just one vertical and expect a brand to survive anymore.
Which naturally leads to the most daunting academic hurdle in the entire course. Because having mapped out all these disparate, highly complex channels, the syllabus has to teach the student how to make them talk to each other.
The integration phase.
Right, because if your SEO, your paid ads, your social media, and your emails are all operating completely independently, you are just creating a lot of disconnected noise.
A siloed approach is literally the quickest way to waste a marketing budget.
And the course tackles this in its final theoretical chapters, focusing really heavily on integrated digital marketing and data-driven marketing.
Which is where it all comes together.
Here's where it gets really interesting. To anchor these massive concepts, the syllabus points to a highly specific real-world case study. There's an entire chapter titled, Example, Microsoft Integrated Marketing Communication Approach.
Ah, the Microsoft case study.
Now, here's where I really struggle with the material, to be honest.
Why is that?
Integrated marketing sounds like a phrase invented in a corporate boardroom just to sound impressive.
It does sound very core.
And studying a multinational behemoth like Microsoft, they have billions of dollars, entire departments dedicated to data science, and an endless marketing budget.
Sure, their scale is massive.
Right. So if I am taking this course to launch my own, say, artisanal soap brand online, how does studying Microsoft's enterprise-level integration actually help me?
It's a completely understandable hesitation, right? But the mechanism of integration is identical whether you are selling enterprise software or artisanal soap.
Wait, really? How?
Because the Microsoft case study isn't about their budget, it's about studying their nervous system.
Their nervous system. Okay, explain that.
Integration is basically the process of creating a unified ecosystem where the data collected in one channel directly dictates the actions taken in another.
Give me an example of how that mechanism actually works in practice, using the tools we just talked about.
Okay, let's use the exact tools the course just taught us. Suppose Microsoft runs a Google ad for a new laptop.
Okay, the helicopter approach.
Right. The data-driven marketing chapter teaches you not just to count the simple clicks on that ad, but to track the specific behavior of the users who clicked it.
So going beyond just, did they click or not?
Exactly. Let's say a user clicks the ad, looks at the laptop, but they don't buy it. Because of data integration, Microsoft's system registers that exact interaction.
It remembers them.
Yes. A week later, that same user is randomly scrolling through social media. The social marketing tools the course mentioned are now automatically utilized to serve that specific user a piece of content marketing, maybe a video reviewing that exact laptop they looked at.
Oh, wow. So the social media platform knows what they did on the website.
Exactly. And if the user watches that video, the system triggers the final step. The email marketing platform automatically sends them a highly targeted email offering, say a 10% discount on that specific model.
So the data is the connective tissue for everything.
Yes. The ad click informed the social media video, which then triggered the email. It's a continuous, automated loop based entirely on user behavior.
By studying the Microsoft approach, the course illustrates that the tools are entirely interdependent.
Exactly. And if you are that artisanal soup maker, you apply the exact same logic on a smaller scale.
So if a customer organically finds my site through the Yoast SEO I set up, but they abandon their shopping cart.
Your data integration ensures they see a targeted social media post about your soap's natural ingredients the very next day.
That is brilliant. The data basically removes the guesswork and turns that chaotic room of a billion shouting voices into a measurable, predictable science.
It completely transforms the polymath problem we talked about earlier. You don't just have 5 different brains frantically spinning plates, you have a central nervous system coordinating the entire body.
Which brings us to the final stretch of this massive syllabus. Because after 9 hours of foundational strategy, search engine mechanics, content creation, and data integration, the course just abandons theory completely.
It gets very, very practical.
Yeah, the final hour is dedicated to absolute practical career execution. The closing chapters are literally how to become a digital marketing influencer, how to become a digital marketer, and crucially, digital marketing interview, question and answers.
That specific inclusion, the interview prep, it really recontextualizes the entire 10 hours, doesn't it?
It really does. This curriculum isn't some abstract academic exercise meant for a university library. It is a highly tactical job hunting tool.
It's the ultimate pragmatic payoff.
The course is essentially saying, we have spent 9 hours rewiring your brain to understand the mechanisms of the digital economy. Now, here's exactly how you articulate that knowledge in a corporate setting so somebody will actually write you a paycheck.
It validates the enormous investment of time. It bridges the gap between just knowing how a tool works and knowing how to communicate its value to a hiring manager who, frankly, might not understand the technology at all.
It truly is a masterclass in curriculum design. But there is one final lingering detail in our source material that we absolutely have to confront before we wrap up today.
Yes. The elephant in the room.
Right. And it speaks directly to that opening analogy of the shifting physics we talked about.
The timestamp.
The timestamp. So the title of this video explicitly uses the tag 2024. It markets itself as the definitive current guide.
It definitely does.
However, if you look closely at the source metadata, this video was actually a recorded live stream that originally broadcasted over 3 years ago.
Wow.
It has nearly 1.5 million views today, but it features software interfaces, search engine algorithms, and social media best practices from roughly 2021 to 2023.
And in the context of digital marketing, a 3-year gap is practically a different geological era.
It's an eternity.
Entire platforms have emerged. I mean, artificial intelligence has completely revolutionized content creation since then, and search algorithms have fundamentally altered how they even index information.
Which leaves us with a fascinating paradox to ponder. We started this deep dive exploring how building a digital brand requires a concrete strategic foundation because the tactical tools constantly change.
Right, the concrete versus the wallpaper.
Exactly. But given how rapidly Google's ranking factors update, how quickly ad bidding structures evolve, and how drastically social media algorithms rewrite their own rules behind closed doors,
It makes you wonder.
it really does. How much of this specific 10-hour technical syllabus remains functionally identical today?
Probably less than you'd hope.
And more importantly, if you commit to this career path, how much of this massive, exhausting technical foundation must you completely relearn every single year just to keep your invisible storefront from disappearing into the void?